As a kid, I loved playing with Lego and Play-Doh, but most kids I know these days would rather spend all day on their digital devices if they could. Experts tell ST that compared with earlier generations, primary school children are losing interest in toys at an earlier age. It's concerning because playing with toys can boost creativity and problem-solving skills, more so than online games. To encourage children to get back to their toys, how about this for an idea? The Sony Creative Science Award toy-making competition for pupils from Primary 1 to 6 is open for registration. It's organized by Science Centre Singapore, Sony, and supported by the Education Ministry. We spoke to one of last year's winners who came out tops with his original creation, an electrifying ride.
My invention has three parts to it. Firstly, it's the roller coaster. Second, it's a copper coil train. Third, it's a hydraulic lift. I had a lot of fun while making this toy. I really love to make things, although I've never tried it out. I always think, oh, I want to make this, I want to make that. My friends thought that, wow, it was so cool. And they keep on asking me, how did you think about this? And did you do it yourself? How did you get these ideas? Where did you get it? Then they keep on telling me that, wow, it's so amazing.
I'm pleased to welcome to the show Associate Professor Lim Tit Meng, Chief Executive of Science Centre Board. Now, he believes that children should play with toys. Professor, given that we live in a digital world and kids are digital savvy anyway, how can parents get their children to play with the traditional toys instead?
Well, it is actually a very good question, given that now children are really exposed to many different kinds of digital gadgets. So getting children to switch over to physical toys will be slightly tough. However, it is all about striking a balance and letting parents and grandparents help them develop an interest in physical toys that they can enjoy playing with as much as the digital gadget. And there is actually no right or wrong answer to play with what kind of toys or what kind of toy is the best toy to pick. However, what we want to do is to let the young children be exposed to the right kind of medium, the right kind of mix of toys, be it digital or physical, to give them a holistic experience. And I personally believe that if parents give a very conducive environment for our kids to feel comfortable, to allow them to freely express, freely explore, and therefore open up the mind, whatever toys given to them will be good toys. Saying that, I personally would advocate that there is something that you cannot replace with playing with physical toys, because the tactile, the physical touch and feel, and also playing physical toys tend to have you interacting with real people around you, and not so much of just alone glued to the digital screen.
I understand that there is a competition that's going on with the Science Centre, that the Science Centre is organizing. Could you give some tips on what would make a winning entry?
Oh yes, the Science Centre have been organizing jointly with the Sony group of companies in Singapore. It is called the Sony Creative Science Awards. It is a competition that look for young inventors who would make toys out of the principle of science. And this have been ongoing for 25 years this year. This year, 2022, will be the 25th anniversary. And we want the young children to really be creative and be curious about what kind of scientific principle, be it, for example, a spring or a magnet or some kind of pendulum, lever system or the pulley system, that they could imagine the scientific principle behind, implement it, and then design and conceptualize something like a toy. And we also want them to enjoy the trial and error. The contribution towards the toy making process is something that this toy making competition also look for. And we also want to encourage the children to be actively participating. It could be, in a way, brainstorming with parents, or co-creating with a sibling. Or in some instances, we also encourage them to co-create with their school friends in class, or with someone they enjoy working with together. So it is co-creation. It's about using scientific principles. It is making something that is tangible, physical, and it's fun for learning and playing at the same time.
Well, thank you so much, Professor Lim, for setting aside time to speak with us. Associate Professor Lim Tit Meng, Chief Executive of Science Centre Board. You can read more about the topic and which toys teachers recommend for primary school children. You'll find all articles at str.sg/smartparenting.